what joy means for you guys. Would you like to share? I would love to hear.
On the last thing you said, I feel sometimes that it's the acceptance that creates the change.
That's it. An acknowledgement.
It's not so much that we heal ourselves, but we allow ourselves to be healed.
That's it.
Acceptance and surrender is healing and freeing and happiness and joy.
That's part of joy for me, feeling that I can surrender, and I'm free. I'm free. Because when we attach to something very deeply and strongly, even to something we don't want, but we say we have to get rid of it, it's so stuck in us. We just have no power to open our wings, even we would like to. And when we say, I'm just surrendering, I'm just allowing things to happen the way they want to happen, if I'm not ready to move somewhere, just allow whatever happens, but knowing that that's okay, whatever happens is okay. So whatever is inside our hearts, it's good for us. No one can say what is good for you. No one can say what is good for me. If I know that something is good for me in my heart, I just follow it. Because everyone is different, everyone has different values, different needs, and different heart desires, and different soul purpose if we go that deep. So no one knows what your soul wants to express and how it wants to express it. So I think the most important is just to be yourself. And I think that the most powerful thing which I realized about clarity, the other component which we're deciding to talk today about, is I was so confused for most of my life, and I didn't know why. I was so confused, and I was doing many things. I was exploring, I was always passionate, I was always happy, doing different things. I had many friends, and I was generally feeling like I am outgoing and a happy person. But inside me, I was always struggling with too much of anxiety and fear and thoughts and everything. Even ideas, you have so many ideas you want to express, but there is not enough time, you think. But then you realize that you actually procrastinate those ideas, and you don't do too much of what you could do, actually, if you would focus on something which you really, truly want to do. So you scattered your energy, and you go in different places, When you get the clarity, it's like you are laser focused on what you really, truly want to achieve in your life from the heart. I believe you can do this from the head as well, but the head, it's not giving the fulfillment in my realization. I don't know how it is for you, but for me, the only way when I was truly satisfied, happy, and feeling content with myself was when I realized that I am connected with my heart and with my heart's desire instead of what my head wants me to do. Our heads have all beliefs which we get from our society, from our parents, from everyone else. And we just think we want something on the head level, and then we connect with our hearts, and it's apparently something totally different. And you know how it is. Sometimes we, as children, we want to experience something, and then we are told that we shouldn't dream that much. We should just focus on maths or something more solid, you know what I mean? And I remember my mom was also always asking me when I will finally decide what I want to do. And then I realized a few years ago that I'm multi-potentialist, and multi-potentialist is all about exploring different fields and expressing yourself in different ways. So if you realize that you are multi-potentialist, but you want to be a specialist because someone told you that you need to be a specialist, you will never be happy. Because you will like to be someone who you are not. Someone else expects you to be that one thing, that one expression in life. And you are so much more than this. And we all have so big potential in life. We don't have only one thing in ourselves. And the more we dive into it, the more we can find how much we have inside ourselves. But this is so huge topic, then we have to go to shadow work, to other deep stuff. So maybe we'll focus on what we have decided to do today. So, joy. Having fun, yes?
Playfulness. I don't know, because when I thought joy, first I thought of children, and imagination.
And the curiosity as well of the child, which is like, yes. And how often when we want to be as children are, now, for example, when we are adults, we feel like this is something odd when we start to laugh. And sometimes I remember, now I don't care about this anymore, how loud I laugh. But there was time when I was laughing and then I was like, I laughed too loud. People will notice, that I am like too loud. Because as children we are told, like, you are too loud, you cannot be that loud. Keep quiet, and it's like, even the parents wouldn't do it, school would do it. Someone would do it, someone would point it, and then we feel like this is something which we shouldn't do, and we start to hide it. And it's very good, actually. Debbie Ford, she wrote the book, The Dark Side of the Light Chasers, and she mentioned in this book, imagine the castle. We are all like this beautiful castle with the beautiful rooms, and then someone enters, one person enters one room in the castle, another in another room, and they are knocking, opening, and they are just pointing and judging. And then finally we lock one room after another, and then we end up in one small tiny room which is we barely can move in it. And that's our jail, which we created for ourselves because we decided that everything what was pointed out to us is wrong. And in these rooms which we locked, it's not only what we were judged for, but also our potential. So if we actually decide to stay where we are, in this small room, we are never able to explore our potential. We're just staying where we are, comfortable in our small place. We know that we are safe because no one will say something now, but always someone will say something. Even we are in the small room, always someone can decide to say something. So we are always exposed for judgment, even we think that we are not, and this is part of why I realized I am not happy myself, because I was always so focused on what other people will say. If they will judge me for what I say, what I do, how I express myself, what I choose. And then finally you put masks and you are like a chameleon, like a chameleon who can get on with everyone and you are friends with everyone. And I was very, very happy with that for some time because I was thinking, everyone likes me. Who they like? I remember when I was 18 years old and I invited friends to my house and then I realized how they will talk to each other. They are totally different, everyone from different planet. And I said, I can talk to everyone. But then I realized why I connect with these people. Maybe I have something in common as well, but maybe because I always try to be like they want me to be seen. And then I realized you cannot be. You cannot be, friends with everyone. You just cannot, because you kind of take piece of yourself and you give to everyone else. And then you're left with nothing. You reject yourself to give to other people pieces of yourself, and then you're left with nothing. And then you finally feel that there is no joy in you because all joy you had, you gave away. Or you hid somewhere, underground, somewhere so deeply that you don't even know that this exists. Because we know how it is. We sometimes convince ourselves so deeply, or even we tell to other people because we want to believe something, that something is happening, something is true, and we want to truly believe it, and we start to believe it. You know how our mind can convince us. This is just, another way how we can program ourselves. So if we can program ourselves in this way, to believe that we are terrible, for example, stupid, or this or that, why we cannot actually say to ourselves, I am beautiful, I am amazing, I am good enough, I'm actually perfect. This is the challenge for us to say to ourselves that, I totally acknowledge myself, I accept myself for who I am. Maybe it doesn't resonate with everyone, because I know everyone is different. I'm just sharing, my own experience and my own point of view on that. But I know that everyone has some bit of it. Each person might resonate with one word or one sentence, but it's still connecting with everyone in some way, if you know what I mean. So what about joy? Someone feels differently about joy or happiness? How you perceive it?
I think when you're present, when you actually enjoy a moment, that's when you're happy. Because I think a lot of the time you're thinking about the past, you're thinking about the future, that you can't actually even enjoy a moment. You know, and it's lost. You'll never get that moment back. And it's the little things that matter. You know, each morning when you wake up, you know, you're alive. But I think we take that for granted. So it's the little things I think that matter most. You know, being present. I think that's where you find your joy and your peace too. You know?
I agree with that. For me as well, I realized that whenever I come back to the place where I feel what I do in this moment, because it's like the same is like life is a journey, not a destination. And this is in the movie which we were talking about, Peaceful Warrior, which you can find on YouTube. Very lovely movie. So this is the sentence from the movie, and when I watched this movie first time and I listened to the sentence, life is a journey and not a destination, I was crying, because that was the moment when I realized that I finally started to enjoy my journey. You know, it's the point where you feel like you finally embrace not the next goal, not the next place you need to go to, but really the place you are now. And this imperfection, in brackets, of where you are. You know, that this doesn't have to be ready. It doesn't have to be ready-made. It has to be where it is. Because you are developing, we are all growing, and if we don't explore and enjoy this moment where we are, we never will be able to appreciate, you know, what is later, if we don't appreciate what is now, which is the part of the journey, part of the place where we want to go, because everyone has vision, smaller or bigger, everyone has some vision or some plan, some goal, some dream. Sometimes we forget about this dream, sometimes we put this on the shelf, but this is somewhere there for everyone. I think everyone has some dream from the childhood, from the teenage age, or from now. But now, what stops us from reaching those dreams?